the subsidy matter is going to be a very tough chew. No leader will find himself or herself in an easy position dealing with this subsidy matter. But from your own point of view and from the workers' point of view, what would you say would be the best way to handle what could be a possible backlash in the removal of subsidy? Bola Tinubu has said he will remove subsidy. Muhammadu Buhari has applied for an $800 million loan at the World Bank. This seems to be a lot to chew, isn't it?
Well, I really don't understand this whole story about removing subsidy or not, unless somebody wants to make a fuse out of it. You know, the reports available to us show that the federal government has gone far in the Port Harcourt and Warri refineries, you know, to repair them, you know, and that they have invested 20%, and they are to give this Dangote refinery about 300 barrels, you know, 300,000 barrels, you know, daily. And then if this is what is on ground, how much do we need, you know, here? How much do we need? Two, the federal government, when they tried to engage us about 2 years ago, we looked at some other options, clear options, you know, that has to do with the CNG, you know, the natural gas, you know, eco-friendly and cheaper. You know, and then they said they started in a Bini area, and they have converted over 10,000 vehicles and all that. And on that basis, the CBN was said to have given a grant of over 250 billion for the conversion. And, you know, petroleum station owners, you know, independent owners, you know, now said they have surrendered their petrol stations for conversion to CNG, and this could be concluded within 3 months, and that the gas deposit in this country could last for the next 500 years, and it is cheaper, you know. So one starts to wonder if the CNG is cheaper, and then government has started making provisions for conversion of vehicles and filling stations. Now, why are we still talking of subsidy or no subsidy? Who says they need subsidy? Who said there's need for subsidy?
So you see,
keep on
you see that what you're feeling, and as a president, is that there's probably some underhand dealings that Nigerians do not know about. Is that what you're inferring?
Well, I don't know what they're talking about. If it could take 1 month or 2 months or 3 months for us to convert to CNG, then there's alternative. So if there's alternative, if you convert to CNG, why are we talking of a subsidy? Who will be importing when there's alternative on ground here? Why can't we think outside the box? Why can't we look at the alternatives that are available to us, including the repair of the main refineries, including what is supposed to be produced by the Dangote refineries? And people are singing, you know, about subsidy. It's no longer an issue. Let them take these options, you know, and the issue of taking loan for this subsidy is not with our support. Nobody can say he's taking loan because of subsidy when there are options, when there are better options, you know, available to us. Why don't we think about those options? Unless there's something that we don't know about this.
All right. Let me take you to Labour Party matter, Mr. Jairo. Who is the authentic national chairman of Labour Party?
Well, Julius Abure remains the national chairman of the Labour Party.
What do you
Nobody
Go ahead,
nobody
please.
has conducted any convention. There's no meeting, no NEC meeting called, which NLC as trustees have attended where any officer has been removed. None. Now, even NLC as of today is working in line with the consent judgment and the MOU we got with the Labour Party, and it will expire by around 27th of June for the convocation of a convention to have our leaders. So any distraction for people to overstay in office or to perpetrate themselves in office is not acceptable to us. That is where we are, and that's the position as at today. You know, you can't just wake up and say you have removed leaders. It's not acceptable to us. We should know. It doesn't mean that leaders cannot be removed. Leaders can be removed any moment.
So what about Callistus Okafor? What about Lamidi Apapa? You probably have an insider view on this matter. What exactly is going on?
Those are creations of the media. The media should stop, you know, creating crises for us. You know, Lamidi Apapa, you know, was a deputy. Now, even if, assuming the court removes Abure as chairman, now what happens conventionally is for a next meeting of the Labour Party to meet, where they will choose who will stay in acting capacity until a substantive chairman is appointed. Nobody goes to a Labour office and break the windows and doors and declare himself winner. That doesn't happen in any organization. No organization is organized by that way. It's unacceptable. The person can't even present himself to us as our leader. Is that how other organizations behave?
Mr. Jairo, what would you advise as a way forward? I mean, this is a party that courted a lot of huge followings of many Nigerians, a lot of them who have now been described as obedient. And that movement got as much as it could get in the election that we saw. I mean, and if it's been bedeviled by all of these kind of crises, it doesn't all go well, is it? What would you advise that the party do at this point in time? A political, an elective solution, or what?
There's no crisis so far, but I think some individuals, you know, have their own interests which they want to promote. However, like I've mentioned to you, we should be working towards our convention any moment from now. And we are going to come up with the convention guideline for election of party chairmen, party secretaries, you know, across the states, across the world, nationally. That is where we are moving to. And they know it. They know our MOU, the MOU of the Labour Party and the NLC. The out of court consent, which INEC witnessed, that by 27th of June, you know, we should embark on that process. Lamidi Apapa knows it. Abure knows it. And they know all these things. So we are moving into that. And that's the only way we can get, you know, our house.
Are you able to speak with, since it does look like you align with Mr. Abure, have you been able to speak with Mr. Apapa?
As what?
Well, I mean, he's a contender. He's been contending that he's the right leader.
Then all the deputy party chairmen will be contenders. Which organization happens that way? Do we have organizations without rules?
So if the NLC and TUC are trustees, isn't there anything that these trustees can do to summarily or temporarily?
The NLC produced one of the deputies. The TUC produced one of the deputies, and they are still intact with Abure. Now, if you are talking of Lamidi, you know, of Apapa grew up as a member of Nupeng tanker driver, as a member of the NLC, you know, or your state's council. And then if you got up and say he will not obey the NLC and he will not obey the Labour Party, you know, you allow him to be on his own. So why are we
as of today, Mr. Ajaero, you have disowned Apapa and you have somewhat upheld Abure's leadership. Is that what has happened tonight?
Abure has not been removed by any neck of the NLC or of the Labour Party or CWC. That's a clear fact. You know, if the court has even removed Abure, assuming it is true, it is the party that will come and determine who should be their acting chairman. Apapa can impose himself on us for goodness sake. And it doesn't happen.
All right.
You know, so that's the situation as of today.
Mr. Joe
Nobody will say, I am the chairman. Abure couldn't have done it, you know, when he emerged. Apapa, all of them were there when they nominated him to be chairman. And he's chairman until he is removed. But I'm saying that in the event of even death or removal by court, the organization meets to say, this is the acting, pending a substantive replacement.